Hey, welcome to the Simple Nutrition Podcast, a show that helps you learn practical and actual nutrition tips from an expert. I am your host, Leonila Campos, a registered dietitian with over 8 years of experience in the nutrition field. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Simple Nutrition Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Leonila Campos, registered dietitian, business owner, and passionate believer that small, sustainable steps can lead to big health transformations. Today, we're diving into a topic that touches nearly everyone, skin health and aging, but through a lens you may not have heard before, inflammation. I'm thrilled to join by Dr. Ebru, a world-renowned immunologist and the founder of AveSeena, an award-winning anti-inflammation skincare and wellness brand. Her work bridges science and skincare in such a unique way, and today we'll be exploring how chronic inflammation affects your skin, what the science says, and how nutrition plays a powerful role in aging from the inside out. Dr. Ebru, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Leo. It's amazing to be here.
Yeah, thank you for taking that. I mean, you're so busy, so I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's start. You have such a fascinating background in immunology and science. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and maybe what inspired you to create AveSeena?
Sure. AveSeena was born out of both, scientific conviction and personal necessity. And I'm an immunologist by training, and I researched nearly 2 decades in molecular medicine and how inflammation affects the immune system. But it was when I started personally experiencing, chronic acne and how it impacted me both on a health level and a mental level, then I realized there's a deeper void in the skincare, because brands like to target more wrinkles and blemishes and make it go away for a while. But few understood what are the possible inflammatory triggers, or is there a stress-related factor involved in it? And we created AveSeena to focus on signs of inflammaging and to cater to even the most sensitive skin. And every formula we create is guided by scientific inputs and cutting edge discoveries. And because skin health is about wellness.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that journey and just this science background. And it's such a great segue, right, to go into the anti-inflammation. So you've become known for your work in anti-inflammation. Can you explain what this term means and how inflammation accelerates the aging process, especially for our skin?
Definitely. So, first of all, these days inflammation has been termed as something bad, but we need to distinguish which inflammation is bad. So the acute systemic inflammation is good because it keeps us alive. It defeats the bacteria and helps the healing mechanism. And inflammaging is one of those bad guys we don't like, because it's a term we use in immunology to describe the low-grade, micrograde chronic inflammation that silently builds up in our bodies as we age. And anti-inflammaging is defining that, like a skincare that combats against signs of inflammaging. So inflammaging is actually coming up with 2 words, inflammation plus aging. So another question is, everybody asks, okay, so we know we have inflammaging because how do we get it, right? So it lingers under the surface, it's silent, you don't see it, but it's triggered by stress, pollution, poor diet, or even harsh skincare with a zillion different steps, right? So what does it do? You may ask. Inflammaging accelerates collagen breakdown, it weakens the skin barrier, it disrupts the skin microbiome, and that's only the skin issue. But it affects overall our body. So what we put in our body, what we eat, how we treat ourselves during stress, those are all very important. And over time, the signs of inflammaging would show up as premature aging, like fine lines, dullness, dryness, sensitivity. And when we say a skincare that works against signs of inflammaging, it focuses on, and the main goal is to visibly soothe or strengthen and restore the skin's balance. By that way, if you are trying to prevent these stress inducing aging or aggressors, let's call, you may be able to slow down the signs of these inflammaging, these unwanted signs that would create sensitivities and make you unhappy in the long run.
Absolutely. And I think, at least talking for experience, right? When I see fine lines, right, or a wrinkle here and there, it's something that is so powerful, and you look for things, right, to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And when we think about the triggers, right, and as a dietitian, I talk a lot about how nutrition influences inflammation. What are some of the biggest ways you've seen food and lifestyle habits impact the skin, both either positively or negatively?
Well, negatively, one of the biggest hidden trigger is excess sugar and bad eating habits, high carbohydrates, because it can cause glycation, which can damage the collagen and accelerates the skin aging. And another one would be having high fatty foods, because they may tip the inflammatory balance by increasing the fat tissue in your body. Also, skipping meals, eating nothing all day, or eating very then overloading yourself, that would also both starve your skin of essential nutrients. Also, you will end up with lots of insulin spikes, which you don't want. And finally, the alcohol and caffeine overuse. Like, I love coffee, don't get me wrong, but the overuse of it can dehydrate and irritate the skin, because usually when we're drinking coffee, we forget to drink water. So that's not good either. So it's not about, we can't be perfect. That's for sure. I mean,
Right.
we're going to have a little bit, sugar or coffee, whatnot, but it's all about the awareness. So even these doing small tweaks can make a profound difference in how your skin and body feels. So those positive foods I like is, I love any foods or like vegetables or fruits with high in vitamin C, E, omega-3 fatty acids. I love the zinc, selenium rich foods, polyphenols, and fermented fruits. For example, blueberries, pomegranates, they're packed with skin protective antioxidants. Salmon, flaxseed, they help to support the lipid barrier. Leafy greens, I love leafy greens because they're both refreshing and filling, but they come up with their own minerals and vitamins. Also, probiotics and fermented foods like kefir or kimchi can help with the microbiome balance, especially the gut microbiome balance. So having all these in combination and in balance help the skin and the body to build more resilience against environmental aggressors, and this helps from collagen synthesis to inflammation regulation.
Right. Yeah, thank you for giving us that list, right, of foods that positively affect or help, right, and also the ones that are not so positive. But as you mentioned, right, we don't have to just not have them, but it is the amount, right, creating that balance that is going to help with our inflammation too, and eventually with our skin health.
Mm-hmm.
So, AveSeena's formulas are incredibly science driven. What makes your approach different when it comes to anti inflammatory skincare?
Well, one of the things is we look at every ingredient and look at their scientific background, how it works with the skin, if they have any pros or cons, and that kind of thing. So after we decide which ingredients we're going to use, we try to test as much as possible to see if they're going to work together 100%. That's another thing, because we don't believe in having one hero ingredient in the skincare. We want to use as effective as possible and as many as possible ingredients in there, so you don't end up using too many products on your face. So that's one of the difference. And we formulate our products to be multitasking and to solve various problems at one time. So you don't have to use like 10 different creams to solve 10 different problems. Because one of the things is that because the more you touch your face, or the more you overload your skin with 5 different creams on top of each other, I mean, we can say it's going to get suffocated. Your skin is going to get suffocated, and you don't want that. So the point is also we avoid common sensitizers, and we love the bioactives and natural actives. And the one point is we do not want to compromise on luxury and sensorial experience, but we want 100% effectivity. So we're not fighting the age, we're not ageism. We believe in supporting the skin's longevity and calm and the clarity, and as in a preventative way to have a longer time of wellness. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I love that your product and philosophy really emphasized, right, both internal and external care. What we put on our skin and what we nourish our bodies with play a huge role, right, in essentially the aging process and how we are going to feel.
Mm-hmm.
If someone listening wanted to create a simple inflammation reducing routine to support their skin through both skincare and food, what would that look like?
Well, let's start with the food, because whatever we eat, it shows up. Unfortunately, if you have too much ice cream, it's going to show up as fat. That kind of thing.
Right.
So in the morning, I love a nice warm lemon water, and then an omega-3 plant-rich breakfast. You can go with chia pudding, with berries, or if you like to have protein, egg whites. I love egg whites. And, in the morning also, in addition to what you eat, your skincare should be a gentle cleanse. And then depending on the season, you can go with a very light serum, like the serum we have, the microalgae immune B3 serum, and continue with your SPF. It's a very, very hot day. Or if it's winter, I would highly recommend doing the serum and then adding the cream on to prevent the transepidermal water loss from your skin. And our Ageless Perfection cream is perfect for that. And then definitely add your SPF, always. So the midday, definitely go for herbal teas. Or if you like your coffee, have your coffee. But I like an antioxidant-rich lunch, like quinoa, greens, roasted vegetables. I love olive oil, a good olive oil. You can go, if you like your meats, you can go for a chicken or fish. And in the evening, I like doing lighter meals if possible. That's why I like salads a lot in the evening. These days, I love carrot salad. I don't know why. I think my body is craving for it. What I do is I grate it, put a little bit olive oil, and add some lemon juice, and there we go. I just munch on the carrot salad, and it makes me happy. And of course, always drink your water. And then for the skincare, remove the impurities that comes from the day with a good cleanser. And then follow up with your skincare routine. And at that time, the skincare you do at night works better than during the day, because you're going to calm down and you're going to sleep. And this is the time where your skin takes a breather from the daily stress and your body starts on the repair journey. So I definitely say remove the impurities with the gentle cleanser, add your serum, add your facial cream, do your eye concentrate, and then go to bed. And if you want to go with a supplement, definitely you can do a deep sleep supported by magnesium, something like that. So this is my routine. I like this routine, and I think this resonates with a lot of people.
Right. Yeah, I love the emphasis on like the different anti-inflammatory foods, right? And how you're keeping yourself hydrated throughout the day, either with some herbal tea or some water, some of those fruits and vegetables that you're adding. And it's nothing, that we can say it's too complicated, right? And it's something that we can definitely do on a consistent basis. And
Yes.
then, of course, the description of how to take care of your skin, right? It's definitely a question that has come to mind. Okay, how do I take better care of my skin? So thank you for sharing those tips and the specific products that you use too.
Mm-hmm.
We know that gut-brain skin axis is real and that stress, poor digestion, and lack of sleep can show up on our skin. What are some holistic wellness practices you recommend to support skin from the inside?
Well, we talked about the food aspect, but
Mhm.
there's
Right.
also the mental aspect. And when we say mental, people tend to think that, oh, am I mental? Like I'm talking about mental diseases? No. I don't know how else to explain it, but stress puts a lot of pressure and on the brain and on your soul. So that's why the best way I can summarize it as mental. But we all need a break, a little bit break. And this could be a little walk around the neighborhood or play with your dog or even a 10-minute meditation and telling yourself everything is going to be fine at the end of the day, because the brain is designed to worry and have anxiety, and our monkey brain never stops talking, unfortunately. And all that affects your cortisol. It raises up. As the cortisol goes up, there is more pressure on the immune system, right? So that's why I would highly recommend taking at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes break so you can have your time off.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing those tips. And, as a dietitian too, stress is something that we talk about and like how to help lower those levels, right? And so I love the simple tips like, hey, take a 5-minute walk, do some meditation, play with your dog, right? I think that is such a profound way to just kind of disconnect, right, from all the stress that is happening. So thank you for sharing that.
Mm.
Are there any common myths about skincare or anti-aging that you wish people would stop believing?
Oh God. Stop following the TikTok trends. I tell this everywhere. Please stop following the TikTok trends. And I think it was the other day I saw it on Allura Group, did a scientific publication on how the TikTok trends are hurting the teenager skin and how they're ending up going to dermatologist even more than before.
Oh my
It's kind of common sense, but if we need a publication to explain that to the
God.
world, please be my guest. Write more. We need more. So there's that. And stop doing like 10-step skincare routines. That doesn't help. You don't need 5, 6 different creams to solve 5 different problems. A good cream or a good skincare routine would be formulated in a way that you wouldn't need that. So do your homework, read the ingredients, when you're purchasing it, read the product page, read the reviewer comments. They will tell you how they feel and what was the results sometimes. So I would highly recommend that too. And keep your money to yourself. Don't buy
Mhm.
5 different creams. Go for the one that has all the multitasking, multifunctioning aspects of things. So, one, you're spending less money in the long run. Two, you are going to have less sensitivity because you're using less product on your face. So that's the whole thing.
Right. Yeah. Thank you again for just mentioning, right, that not to follow for what someone, with a million followers or whatever is doing that might be not so healthy, right, or dangerous.
Yeah.
Um, which I find it too, as in the nutrition aspect of it as well. With when my clients tell me, "Oh, I'm trying these because I saw it on TikTok," and I'm like, "Oh, man, like, how can I put it in a nice way that is, not healthy?" But it's difficult, to sometimes to compete with like the masses, and so sometimes a publication, right, might help.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. Um, what are your personal non-negotiables when it comes to skincare and nutrition?
Oh, non-negotiables. Definitely my cleanser and my cream. And my face oil some days. So we have really good cleanser at AveSeena, and our face oil has been designed to work against all the signs of inflammaging with the peptides and botulinum. So I love those three. Those are my non-negotiables. And for the nutrition these days, carrot salad. But unfortunately, I love my coffee. So a good coffee, I have to have it in the morning. But anything in moderation, I'm going to put it that way. I try to go as much as organic as I can. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not available or sometimes it's too expensive, even today. So I try to select the best foods possible out there. Salads, fruits, vegetables. I try to go that way.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that too. And as you mentioned towards the beginning, right, like it doesn't have to be like eliminating those foods that maybe we enjoy, right, is the amount. So are we drinking coffee all day long and like not hydrating, right? Versus like, okay, I'm gonna have my cup of coffee and that is it, and my other hydrating foods too. That's
Mm-hmm.
great, keeping it simple and balanced.
Yes.
So what's coming up next for you in AveSeena? Any new lunches or innovations we should be excited about?
Oh yeah, we definitely have a new launch, and actually, we launched it 4 or 5 days ago. We didn't do a big fuss about it, to be honest, because I was too excited to put it out there because the results are fantastic. And the name is Anka Face and Body Treatment System, and it's basically LED light therapy with red LED light, blue, and pink. And it has radio frequency, EMS, ultrasound. And one of the key differences than any other equipment that's out there, because it combines both the LED light with the radio frequency therapy and ultrasound, is this: you can use it both on your face and your body. So most of the devices, like not most of them, all of the devices out there only focuses on the face, but your skin doesn't end on your face. Your body is aging too, so why not show the same love to the body as well?
Right.
And the body, when the levels of from 1 to 5 are ideal for the body, because it can work on the work of cellulite, how it becomes uneven when you have a fatty tissue underneath. It helps with those. So that is one of the cutting edge stuff we have right now, and we have designed 2 gels for that. One of them is the Hydrosculpt face gel, and it's different than the conductive gels in the way that we added the peptides and all that you need in any skincare you would like. So you can use it even as a face gel. You don't need to always use it with the device. Same for the body. That's Shape Lift conductive body gel. And that has caffeine in it, guanara, and that kind of other ingredients, niacinamide and peptides, to help with the signs of inflammation on the body and also the uneven look that this machine is fighting against. So yeah, that's one cool little device, and you can
Yeah,
take it everywhere.
it's fascinating. Yeah, especially if you're traveling, right? Or you just want to take it with you. That's
Oh yeah.
amazing. Awesome. Well, also fascinating and amazing. Dr. Ebru, thank you so much for sharing your time, your science, and your passion with us today. I think so many of our listeners are walking away with a deeper understanding of how their daily habits, from what they eat to how they manage stress, impact their skin more than they realize. If you're listening and you're curious to explore AveSeena's science-backed inflammation targeting skincare, head to www.aveseena.com. I'll also drop the link in the show notes. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who's ready to glow inside and out. Dr. Ebru, any final thoughts, anything else that you would like to share to the listeners?
Definitely. I mean, skincare has been reflected to us as a luxury. It's not.
Right.
It is your time off, and it is your time off and saying to the world, I respect myself, I love myself, and I'm going to be resilient against all of you. So it's
Right.
not just about beauty, it's just really taking care of yourself.
Mic drop. Yeah, thank you so much. And I love that you say that it's not about luxury, right? We all have skin, and so we all have a face, and so we definitely need to take care of it. And at the end of the day, what's the best thing to do that, right? So amazing. Until next time, I'm Leonila Campos, and this is Simple Nutrition Insights. Thank you so much. Take care, friends. Bye-bye. This podcast, the links and resources provided are for the purpose to educate only and are not a replacement for medical advice or nutrition therapy. I suggest you seek out the help of a trained professional to help you with your specific situation and needs.